Shalom, shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone Ruel, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing in word and truth and sincerity. This is Ira Great Millstone, Wisconsin. And one thing that we're seeing throughout the world is we're starting to see sedition among men. We're starting to see that the populace does not, or how do you say, will not take heed to the words of their respective governments in their own countries. And it's starting to leak out and it's starting to show, and we all know what the scriptures say about these things, that there shall be sedition among men and things of that nature. And the thing is that Esau is, afraid, Esau is scared, So what we're about to see in the coming months, is that Esau is going to do whatever it takes to clamp down on the society more and more, because he knows that he's losing control, and in order to fulfill this new world order, or to keep, or to crank up the decibels to 10, he has to come down with the gauntlet. He has to come down with the guillotine on the people. Now this is an article from RT News. This is BBC studios stormed by anti-COVID passport protesters. Anti-COVID passport protesters. Video shows clashes with police amid attempted break-in. Now, I'm not going to read the article, but I'll play the video. The thing is that, now we know that there could be crisis actors, in this crowd that, project or agent provocateur, these situations. But not every one of these situations is going to be pushed by an agent provocateur or a instigator, Most of these appearances, or most of these, I'm trying to get my thoughts straight. Most of these incidents are going to be instigated by the people themselves, man. And you might have a crisis actor in the crowd that does something drastic or throws a chair or something like that, But for the most part, these things are going to come out as of right now as real people starting these incidents, man. Because the thing is that the people are getting out of control and they need to be controlled, So every now and then you'll see Esau use a crisis actor to scare the populace into submission, but that's not what's happening here. People are getting tired of this totalitarian society. So let me play this video here. I believe it's the first one here. You see the police trying to keep these people at bay, but they eventually get into this news outlet. And like I said, there could be crisis actors here. There might be a reason why BBC studios or a news station gets stormed instead of a federal health building or something like that. But it's being shown, or it was done here to garnish attention. That basically things are kicking up a notch, man. There's another article here that even after this protest, and this protest did happen in France, and I'm not going to read this article, but France extends use of health pass to cafes, restaurants, despite weekend of mass protests. So even though they almost broke out in a civil unrest this weekend, they're still basically saying like, hey, fuck your feelings, fuck what the populace talking about. This is what we're doing, So now we're starting to see society break into a total totalitarian dictator, dystopian system, draconian even. So I'm just going to go into 2nd Ezra chapter 8 really quick, because the thing is that there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to see happen in the coming months, leading out into the end, and things are going to get crazy. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So there's going to be all types of hell and chaos going on, man. this might be it, you know. Lord willing, how about Shem Shai? This is it, you know, because there's going to be a lot of mass protests and riots that are going to break out because of this. And this is only in France, you know. I haven't even begun to speak on, you know, the protests that were happening in Cuba, you know, the protests happening in England. You have over here in LA, the county sheriff's department, Slovakia, the county sheriff's department is saying that, you know, they're going to quit if LA county executives mandate, you know, the county employees to get the vaccine. I mean, I messed up. Oh, well. But, you know, get the Crown Victoria, you know. Same thing in New York. New York's talking about mandating the Crown Victoria as well, man, you know. Or, you know, giving out something like a so-called health pass or, you know, COVID cards and things of that nature, you know. So this thing isn't going to fly over the radar, man. This thing's going to bust society wide open, you know. And it's because the people have walked in great pride. Everybody thinks they can do whatever they want to do, you know, against the Most High, against their own consciousness, you know. And the thing is that the Lord is putting it to an end, and he's using the world and as a backdrop, you know, and of using every other the country governments, you know, as the key players in the story to make these prophecies come true, you know. It says, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee, you know. So we have to seek out the glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know. Because the thing is that while everything is going on, the men of the Lord are going to be protected, man, you know. And there are going to be a lot of miseries, a lot of hell that's going to come to this world, you know. And one of those miseries, is Esau, man, you know. The man himself, the devil himself, man, you know. He's the one that's going to bring all this misery to the world, you know, through the spirit, you know, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know. The Lord is going to make Esau bring this misery to the whole world. And it's going to start with the government. It's going to start with infringing on the rights, you know. And then after that, the people are going to rebel. When the people rebel, you know, he's going to unleash all unholy hell, man. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? Because you think that he doesn't see that the prophets are on the street teaching, you know, that he doesn't see that everything that the prophets say, starting with through the Spirit of the Lord, starting with Apostle Haran down, is coming to pass and coming to fruition. You think he doesn't see that his society is falling apart, you know, that the people don't trust him anymore. He doesn't have the ear of the people, you know, he doesn't have the minds of the people, you know. The people are starting to wake up. Other countries are starting to wake up to the infidelity, I want to say, of America, you know, if I can actually use that word in that sentence. But, you know, he sees these things. So he's thinking in his mind, damn, the clock is ticking, you know. I got to do whatever I can now to get this rolling now, you know. And he's going to bring great misery and hell to this place, man. Remember in Revelation 6 chapter, it told you that the red horse was given power to take peace from the earth, man, you know. And that's exactly what he's been doing. And it's going to kick up a notch even more, you know, to get these people under submission and under subjection, man, you know. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 43, because speaking of subjection, you know, and being trodden underfoot, as we've seen with the protests there in France, what you have is a dynamic to where now, you know, Esau's back is against the wall. So he has to do whatever he can at this moment to fight out of this corner he's in, you know, or fight from being, you know, to get off the ropes. And the thing is, he's going to do is, as he always does, because, you know, this is his blessing, he's going to use a sword, man, you know. He's going to use those guns. He's going to use that firepower. You know, he's going to threaten other countries with, America's going to threaten other countries with thermonuclear missile fire, you know, and vice versa, you know. But the thing is, for these people, he's got something very special for these people, man, called martial law, called National Guard troops, called UN UN NATO fighting forces, man, you know, that he's going to deploy in the streets to keep these people at bay. You know, it's going to start looking like, how do you say, it's going to start looking like that series, that limited series on Netflix. What was it? Containment. You know, it's going to start to look like Containment out here. You know, things are going to be boarded up. People are, neighborhoods and cities going to be annexed off, and we're going to see post-apocalyptic scenery. You know, we're going to see post-apocalyptic scenery, and apocalypse ain't happened yet. You know, it's about to get real ugly out here. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 43. It says, "For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee." Now, when you look at this word trench, if I can go, look at this word trench. It goes to the root word karax, which is the root word of the Greek word charagma in Revelation, the 13th chapter, you know, which we all know what that is, you know, the MOTB. Now, I go to the Strong's definition here. It says a stake, an example, by implication, a palisade, a rampart, mound of circumvallation, and a siege trench. So not only are we going to have, you know, real trenches, you know, as in soldiers and to enclose us in, you know, and it traps on every side, but also we're going to have this impalement, man, this inoculation, you know, which the inoculation stand for the Crown Victoria, man, the Crown Victoria medicine, you know, or the MOTB, man, which is also going to be an inoculation, and it's a trap, you know. It says, and keep thee in on every side, you know, and why is it a trap? Because both of these things, the MOTB and the Crown Victoria violate the law, man, you know. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28, you know, both of these things are against the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They violate the law, and they violate the commandments, man. That's the trap, you know, to get us, how do you say, to get us excommunicated from the Lord, man. That's the whole end goal of this. You know, the end goal isn't to just, you know, bring the whole known world under subjection and you know, and have everybody in a new world order. No. The main goal is to get these Israelites. If we could just brand these Israelites, if we could just create a system to where they're trapped in it, you know, and that's what the word system means. It means trap or pit, you know, or gin, snare. You know, we can just get these Israelites, you know, we'll have a shot. But the thing is that, you know, they'll never deceive the elect, as the scriptures say, man. So let me close this. It says, verse 44, it says, and shall lay thee even with the ground. So you're going to get, these people are going to get laid even with the ground. I mean, they're going to be put flat on their backs. These people are going to be destroyed, decimated, you know, eviscerated. I can't, you know, these people are going to be utterly terrified, man. You know, the things that these country governments have up their sleeves, man, these people are going to be totally and utterly terrified. You know, you want to talk about a terrorist? The world doesn't even remember the terrorist that Esau is, man. You know, but they're going to remember real fast because it's coming right up the pipeline. You know, a billy club right upside your head, man. It says, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of visitation. So the thing is that these troops are going to leave a stone unturned, man, meaning everybody is going to feel this crackdown, man. You know, everybody's going to feel this crunch, you know. Things are going to start getting locked down again, you know. People are great being outside now, right? Just wait till the next lockdown, man. They're talking about 3 or 4 other new variants of this pandemic, man. You know, so that means lockdown is going to be even longer this time. You know, And how long do you think it's going to last until people just start to crack, you know, and they start to snap? And next thing you know, you're going to have worse riots in the streets. People are going to be, man, people are going to be setting things on fire. People are going to start blowing stuff up. People are going to start, running into barricades and all types of things, man. It's going to be it's going to be a movie, man. It's going to be a movie out here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And this is the point right here, man. All this that the so-called white man is doing, Esau, all of this, forcing people to take the Crown Victoria and, making them have to walk around with health passes and, COVID IDs and, things of that nature, which is infringing on, their God-given rights, and it's going to lead to sedition, man. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men." So and a sedition is an uprising, a riot. So they're gonna have swords in Slakia. So they're gonna have swords in their hands. They're gonna be fighting against one another. And there's gonna be great uprisings and invading one another. So they're gonna be entering each other's houses, man. They're gonna be breaking entries. There's gonna be robberies. There's going to be massacres and families are going to be murdered, and it's going to get the destruction and violence that is about to take place is going to be of untold proportions. As they say, it's going to be biblical. It says, "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And then we seen a glimpse of that last year, man, with all the riots, people burning down buildings, things of that nature. They didn't care about the police. They didn't care about their neighborhood aldermen. They didn't care about their senators. They didn't care about their mayors. People did what they wanted to do, as you've seen in Minneapolis, as you've seen in Atlanta, you've seen it in New York. We've seen it in LA. We've seen it here in Madison and Kenosha and Milwaukee. And if you take all of those riots and you bunch those up together, it still doesn't equal what's about to take place in this world, man. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because they're going to be barricades, man. Parts of the city are going to start being quarantined. If you've your brothers ever watched that movie Songbird, or the movie Quarantine, or 28 Weeks, or 12 Monkeys, there was always a barricade or a quarantine zone. We watched the movie Contagion, or the show Containment. It's the same exact thing, man. I Am Legend. They had quarantine zones. That's what's going to come to, it might come to other countries first, but when it hits America, whoo-wee, man, you think those people in France were outraged because they got to wear health passes. Just imagine these delusional, psychotic people in America who don't live in reality. This place is going to blow up, literally. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." See, the word pride is showing up again. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. "The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." See, that's the point. Because of the pride on these people, the Lord is going to put a spirit out here, and that spirit is going to be of utter destruction, man. Because of the pride, because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation, man. And we're already seeing a food shortage. The truckers and the cargo ships, they're not on strike right now, but there's a nationwide crisis to where materials, food, And raw materials and food aren't being aren't being distributed properly. This stuff is just sitting in warehouses, for months without being shipped out. There are not enough truckers. Um, there are not enough pilots, you know, or crew members and things of that nature for the cargo planes and for the cargo ships, and there are not enough captains, and it's becoming a shortage. Why? Because after the lockdown last year, a lot of these people got laid off. You know, a lot of these people now coming to 2021 never went back to work. You know, or because they're on unemployment, or because of the company's been shut down, or you know the company can't afford to pay these people. And now there's a so-called work shortage, and now people either don't want to go to work, people have started businesses, or these businesses don't have enough money to pay these people. So a lot of commerce is actually breaking down before our eyes that people don't even see. you know so that's the lack of bread, and that's going to bring on great tribulation, because now people are going to start stealing, people are going to start scamming, people are going to start committing burglaries, murder for hire. It's going to get real ugly out here, man. It says, and going back to verse 18, it says, men shall be afraid, and this is why. You have these men that have been spoon-fed this sissy mentality in this today's modern world, and they're not even in the military, and they are not ready for what's coming, because they don't understand and they don't know what's going on. It says, verse 20, it says, behold, you know what? I'll stop right there. And matter of fact, let me go to Job chapter 20. This is Job chapter 20, and I'm going to start at 22. Because the thing is that after all this chaos is said and done, right? And this devil thinks that he has the whole world on subjection. That's when the Lord is going to step in. And just when he thinks he's got the whole world by the balls, man, the Lord is going to come and punch him in the face. Oh man, it's going to be the most disrespectful. It's going to be most disrespectful sucker punch that you've ever seen, man. But the thing is that he's seen it coming. The prophet's seen it coming. We telling you it's coming. But he's still going to be blindsided. This is Job chapter 20, verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So in this sufficiency, meaning in this comfortability, he shall be in straits, meaning hard, difficult times, man. Hard, difficult position. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And the hand of the wicked represents the other nations, man. That's when the other nations going to step in. And they got something for Esau, man, And it's the thermonuclear missiles that he created, that the Lord put the spirit on him to create, pursuing to Isaiah 54:16. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. So as soon as, you sit down, you about to eat a big plate of food. You ain't ate all day. You just sat at a buffet, You haven't eaten in a week. You just sat in a buffet, and it's all you can eat from 11 to 4. For those 5 hours, you're just going to eat, But as soon as your mouth is watering, your jaw is, your jaw starts, starts shivering, your lips quivering, and you can't wait to dig into this food, It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. So he's about to sit there and eat this plate, these 5 plates of food, man. He got a 6-course meal on the table, And as soon as he dips that fork and he cuts that steak and he takes that piece of that steak and he's about to put it in his mouth, he don't even taste it. Because next thing you know, everything just catches on fire. You know how you would feel after that? You would feel so distraught. You would feel defeated. After you've been waiting a whole week to eat at your favorite buffet, and as soon as you're about to as soon as you're about to taste that steak, the whole place catches on fire. Oh man, that's gonna be beautiful. You know, it says, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. So he's gonna try and flee. You know, he's gonna try and go in the deep underground military bases. You know, those dumbs. You know, that they have underneath the earth, and he's going to try and fly to his satellites, man. Or his now he's trying to build space hotels. You know, that's why they have Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson. They got this thing going called space tourism. You know, but the thing is now they can only go up to like the upper firmament, like the limit between this heaven and that second heaven, man. You know, for like I think when I watched the Jeff Bezos launch, I think they went up for about a minute and came back down. You know, but they're going to try and make this a permanent thing. You know, like the movie Elysium or the movie or not the movie, the TV show The Expanse on Amazon. They're going to try to make this a permanent thing. So they're creating these contraptions so they can flee from the iron weapon that they created, man, from that thermonuclear fire. You know, it says, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. They're going to try to run and they're still going to be caught up, man. It says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, meaning the silos. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hidden in secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. You know? So not only do you have the Lord coming forward, the Lord's going to rise up the spirit of the people to be against you. You know? And everything that you've gathered until that point, kingdoms, riches, you know, souls of men, you know, as you read in Revelation 18, is going to be taken from you, man. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. And that heritage is destruction, man. And that's what we come into. We're so close we can taste it, you know. So this is going to be the last scripture here. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6. And I can't remember if it was verse 9. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was the end of the lesson. Yeah, that was the end of the lesson. That was the last precept I had for you brothers, you know. So with that, you know, Lord willing, you brethren, you Akim, are edified in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and well, and salutations to the brethren on four corners of the earth, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. Shalom. Abba Ball.